Have you ever stopped to think what you'd do if a stroke hit you, and you were all alone? For many seniors, this is a terrifying thought. And understandably so. Being over 60 can come with health risks, and facing something like a stroke or heart attack without anyone nearby can feel overwhelming. But what if I told you that there are simple, powerful actions you can take on your own, right in that moment, that could significantly increase your chances of survival? This video is designed specifically for you, the 60-plus generation who may one day face this challenge alone. We'll walk you through 5 life-saving tips that could truly make the difference between recovery and tragedy. No scare tactics. No complicated jargon. Just clear, practical steps you can remember and use if the unthinkable happens. So let's dive in. And trust me, what you'll learn here is easier to remember than you might think, and it could save your life. 1. Recognize the warning signs, and act without hesitation. When it comes to surviving a stroke or heart attack, recognition and timing are everything. The sooner you identify the signs, the sooner you can act. And in these situations, every second counts. Stroke and heart attack symptoms may seem subtle at first, but they can escalate quickly. Without immediate action, the damage to your brain or heart can be irreversible. Many seniors dismiss these early symptoms, thinking, it's probably just fatigue, or, I don't want to make a fuss. But those lost minutes can cost you more than just time, they can cost you function, independence, or even your life. Let me give you an example. James, a 73-year-old retired teacher, felt sudden numbness in his face and weakness in one arm while reading his morning paper. Thankfully, he didn't ignore it. He called emergency services right away and followed a simple self-help technique we'll explain in the next tip. That quick decision saved his life. He received treatment early and made a full recovery. So what are the signs you should look for? For a stroke, watch for sudden confusion or trouble speaking. Difficulty understanding speech. Numbness or weakness, especially on one side of the body. Trouble walking or maintaining balance. For a heart attack, symptoms often include chest pain or pressure, shortness of breath, cold sweat, sudden dizziness or nausea. Many seniors feel hesitant to call for help. Some fear they're overreacting. Others feel embarrassed or worried about being a burden. But here's the truth, you're never a burden for choosing to save your own life. It's completely normal to feel scared or in denial when symptoms strike, but learning to push through that hesitation can save you. In fact, trusting your instincts, listening to your body, and acting fast is one of the greatest acts of self-respect and self-care you can give yourself. Make it easy. Keep emergency numbers nearby. Consider wearing a medical alert device. Educate yourself and prepare mentally. Being ready isn't about being afraid, it's about being empowered. Because when it comes to a stroke or heart attack, the choice to act immediately isn't just a decision, it's a life-saving mindset. 2. Self-help techniques when you're alone. Finding yourself alone during a stroke or heart attack can feel paralyzing. But here's the empowering truth, you're not helpless. There are simple techniques you can apply to protect your brain and heart while you wait for help. Coming up in the next section. 2. Self-help techniques that could save your life. When you're alone and experience a heart attack or stroke, the fear and panic can be overwhelming. But here's something important to remember, you are not powerless. There are practical steps you can take in those first critical moments to keep yourself alive until help arrives. One of the most important and lesser-known techniques is something called cough CPR. Let me share the story of Helen, a 78-year-old grandmother who lived alone. One afternoon, she suddenly felt intense chest pain, and her heart started racing. Instead of freezing, she recalled a health seminar where she had learned about cough CPR. She began coughing firmly every couple of seconds while dialing emergency services. This simple act, coughing rhythmically, helped keep her conscious and stabilized her heartbeat until the paramedics arrived. Why does this work? When you cough forcefully and consistently, it creates pressure in your chest that helps your heart keep pumping blood. It doesn't stop a heart attack, but it can buy you precious minutes, and those minutes can make all the difference. Though not widely taught, cough CPR can be a life-saving tool, especially for older adults who may be alone during a cardiac emergency. Just knowing this method gives you a fighting chance when every second matters. Bonus technique: deep, controlled breathing. In moments of crisis, panic sets in fast. But deep, slow breathing can increase oxygen flow, calm your nervous system, reduce strain on your heart. Breathing deeply, through your nose, expanding your belly, and exhaling slowly through your mouth, can help stabilize your body and mind until help arrives. Mental preparation is key. Some seniors hesitate to act out of fear. What if I do the wrong thing? But here's the truth. Doing something is almost always better than doing nothing. Training yourself both mentally and physically to respond to emergencies builds confidence and resilience. Even practicing techniques like cough CPR and deep breathing regularly, outside of emergencies, helps them become second nature. That's what saved Helen. When the moment came, she didn't freeze. She stayed calm, focused on her breathing, kept coughing steadily, and had the presence of mind to call 911. That mental readiness helped keep her conscious and breathing until help arrived, and ultimately, saved her life. So, here's your second life-saving tip. Backhand index pointing right. Equip yourself with practical self-help techniques and rehearse them. It's not about being a doctor, it's about being ready. Taking small, simple actions could be the reason you survive and recover fully. If you're still with me and found this tip helpful, go ahead and comment number 2 below, so I know you're following along. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss important health tips like this one. Your support helps us continue making valuable content just for you. Didn't panic. He immediately sat down, focused on steady breathing, and reached for his phone to call emergency services. Recognizing these signs isn't just about physical symptoms but also about understanding what's normal for you and what isn't. Many seniors live with chronic ailments that can mask or confuse these warning signals. This is why education and awareness are so vital. Carl's prior education through health workshops and his regular conversations with his doctor empowered him to take swift, decisive action when the symptoms appeared. This awareness likely saved his life. Psychologically, understanding early symptoms helps reduce denial and fear, common responses that cause hesitation. When you can name what's happening, you can move from confusion to action. Carl's confidence in recognizing danger allowed him to overcome fear and reach out for help immediately despite being alone. This emotional readiness complements physical preparedness and can drastically improve outcomes. It's also crucial to share this knowledge with friends, family, and caregivers. The more people around you who know the signs, the better the chance someone will notice if you can't call for help yourself. But ultimately, the responsibility starts with you. Regular health checkups, discussions with your doctor about your risk factors, and keeping a symptom journal can deepen your understanding of your body's signals. Another aspect of this pillar is the importance of immediate response. Once you notice these warning signs, don't hesitate or second-guess yourself. Call 911 immediately and describe your symptoms clearly. Paramedics can start life-saving treatment on the way to the hospital. Carl did exactly this. He didn't wait for the symptoms to worsen or disappear. He called for help at the first sign, leading to quick intervention and a full recovery. Seniors often worry about being a burden or overreacting. But when it comes to strokes or heart attacks, every minute counts. Carl's story teaches us that taking action early, even if it feels inconvenient or embarrassing, is vital. Your life is worth any temporary discomfort or worry. So, the third life-saving tip is to educate yourself deeply on the early warning signs of stroke and heart attack and to trust those instincts to act fast. This knowledge and confidence are your first line of defense in protecting your life when you are alone. Number 4, the life-saving power of the right positioning and breathing techniques. When a heart attack or stroke strikes and you're alone, the way you position your body and control your breathing can dramatically influence your chances of survival. It's not just about waiting for help to arrive. Your immediate actions can ease symptoms, improve oxygen flow, and reduce stress on your heart and brain. This is why knowing how to position yourself properly and use breathing techniques is essential knowledge for every senior. Let me share with you the experience of Helen, a 78-year-old woman who suffered a mild stroke at home while alone. She felt sudden weakness on one side and was scared, but she remembered advice from a community health seminar. Helen sat down, leaned slightly forward, resting her elbows on her knees, and took slow, deliberate breaths. This simple adjustment helped her breathe easier, reduced dizziness, and allowed her to stay calm until paramedics arrived. Proper positioning during a cardiac or stroke emergency can help manage symptoms and prevent complications. For instance, sitting upright or slightly forward can relieve pressure on the lungs and heart, making it easier to breathe and reducing the strain on the 3. Position, breathing, and staying calm can save you. During a heart attack or stroke, how you position your body and control your breathing can make a major difference. Even when you're alone, these small adjustments can help you stay conscious, reduce complications, and buy time until help arrives. For example, lying flat on your back can sometimes make symptoms worse, especially if you're short of breath. If you feel dizzy or lightheaded, try to sit upright or lie on your side, but avoid lying flat unless absolutely necessary. This helps ease breathing and supports blood flow to your brain. But just as important as posture is your breathing. In moments of crisis, panic sets in quickly. That panic raises blood pressure, increases your heart rate, and forces your body to work harder, making the situation worse. The solution? Deep, slow, intentional breathing. Let's revisit Helen's story. When her heart began pounding and pain struck her chest, she used a breathing technique she had learned from a health workshop. Inhale slowly through the nose. Hold the breath for a couple of seconds. Exhale gently through pursed lips. This method not only helped her stay calm but also improved her oxygen intake and kept her body functioning better under stress. The benefits aren't just physical, they're psychological, too. Focusing on your breath creates a sense of control, helping to quiet the fear and keep your mind clear. Seniors who practice this regularly are often better prepared to respond decisively in emergencies. Train yourself before the crisis comes. Practicing these breathing techniques daily can build what's called muscle memory. So in a real emergency, your body knows what to do, even if your mind is racing. Helen's success wasn't just luck. She had prepared. Her phone was nearby. Emergency numbers were saved in her contacts. She had practiced her breathing. And when the moment came, she acted with clarity, called 911, and stayed composed. That combination of preparation, calm, and action made all the difference. Remember, these techniques are not a replacement for professional medical care, but they're critical first steps when you're alone and waiting for help. Posture, breathing, and quick communication could very well determine the outcome. By taking these actions, you give yourself the best possible chance at survival and recovery. If you found this tip helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're still here. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss future videos packed with useful, possibly life-saving information. 4. Early warning signs. What you notice first could save your life. In a heart attack or stroke, time isn't just important, it's everything. When you're alone, recognizing early warning signs and acting immediately could mean the difference between full recovery and permanent damage, or worse. This is especially true for older adults, where symptoms might appear mild or be mistaken for ordinary aging. Let me tell you about Robert, a 72-year-old man who felt unusually tired one morning and noticed a mild discomfort in his chest. It wasn't severe, but it felt off. Instead of ignoring it, Robert remembered what he had learned about early detection. He didn't wait, he called for emergency help right away. Because he acted quickly, doctors were able to start treatment early, which reduced heart damage and very likely saved his life. What to watch for? Here are the key warning signs of a heart attack. Chest pressure, tightness, or pain. Shortness of breath. Nausea or lightheadedness. Cold sweat. Pain that radiates to your arms, neck, or jaw. And signs of a stroke. Sudden numbness or weakness in the face, arm, or leg, especially on one side. Trouble speaking or understanding speech. Confusion or disorientation. Difficulty seeing in one or both eyes. Dizziness or loss of balance. These symptoms might come and go. They might feel mild at first. But never ignore them. Acting immediately, even if you're not sure, is always the better choice. 5. The urgency of early action, why every minute matters. Symptoms of a stroke or heart attack, like confusion, loss of coordination, or sudden weakness, can come on quickly or develop gradually. Either way, they should never be ignored. One of the biggest challenges is that many seniors mistake these signs for normal aging or something less serious, like indigestion or fatigue. But this assumption can be deadly. Recognizing that these symptoms demand immediate medical attention can be the difference between life and death, or between a full recovery and long-term disability. Why is early recognition so critical? Because life-saving treatments, like clot-busting medications or emergency procedures, are most effective within the first few hours after symptoms begin. Every minute that passes without treatment increases the risk of permanent damage to your heart or brain. Have a plan. Be ready to act. If you live alone, having a clear emergency plan is essential. That means keeping emergency numbers easily accessible. Knowing how to describe your symptoms quickly and clearly to a dispatcher. Informing a neighbor or nearby friend who can check in regularly. These small steps can speed up emergency response and improve your chances of survival. But there's also a mental barrier that often gets in the way: fear and denial. It's common to feel embarrassed or worry about overreacting. You might tell yourself, "It's probably nothing," or "I don't want to bother anyone." But here's the truth: calling for help is never a burden, it's an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that your life matters. Robert's story reminded us of this. He didn't second-guess his symptoms. He acted quickly, and that decision allowed doctors to save his heart and preserve his health. Prepare your mind and your environment. Education is your best defense. Learning the signs, talking openly about what to do in an emergency, and regular health checkups all build the awareness and confidence you need to act fast. These conversations aren't just for you, they're for your loved ones too. When everyone knows what to look for, everyone becomes part of the solution. Final thoughts: you are your best advocate. Now that we've walked through these 5 life-saving tips, one thing should be clear: being prepared is not optional, it's essential, especially if you're over 60 and living alone. No one wants to picture themselves in a medical emergency, but life doesn't always give us warning. And when help isn't immediately available, your own knowledge and mindset become your most powerful tools. You might think, "I'm healthy, I don't need to worry about this," or "my family's nearby, so I'll be fine." But emergencies often happen without warning, and when no one is around. That's why taking just a few moments today to understand the signs, know what to do, and make a simple plan could protect your independence, your dignity, and your life. Now it's your turn. If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment below sharing which tip resonated with you most and how you'll apply it in your life. Like and subscribe so you never miss future content made for you. And share this video with someone else who could benefit from these life-saving strategies. Your voice matters, and your experience could inspire someone else to take action too. Thank you for spending this time with us. Stay safe, stay informed, and remember: you have the power to protect yourself, even in the toughest moments. We'll see you in the next video.